trespassing was reportedly begging for sexual favors during the incident.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Department of Social Services is facing public backlash in the wake of a story that captured the nation's attention and sparked outrage over treatment of a senior citizen many felt had been taken advantage of. Social Services officials are now clearing the air, clarifying the department's role. Cleopatra Murphy has that story.
Assistant Director of Community Support in the Department of Social Services, Jody Burrows, is defending the department against criticism after the saga that had Philippa Carey fighting to reclaim access to her mother, Ingrid Carey, who had been placed in a home, and caretaker Murray Knowles claim her property and other assets she said the senior gifted to her, along with power of attorney.
We are mandated to go into these homes and conduct our regular visits. However, we are unable to investigate matters that is not reported to us. We can only investigate what is reported to us.
While she insists the department continually does wellness checks at home, away from home, and other facilities, the responsibility does not extend to residents' finances that are the responsibility of residents and family. While they keep an eye out for abuse or other concerns, she says during the last check in early October, there were no adverse reports at any of the homes, a statement supported by Assistant Director of Social Services Fran Bryce, who adds the public can report concerns.
It's kind of rare that we get complaints from the community. Once or twice we get it pertaining to a person, if, the children are concerned about the sharing of properties, that kind of thing. But it's not a common occurrence.
Following the firestorm that saw massive public outcry with residents demanding the return of Carey and her property to her family, Burrows makes this appeal to families.
Remember that these seniors are their responsibility. The community at large, however, it starts with the family. We are only aware of situations as they are brought to our attention. So if it is that, and we want you to just be vigilant. We want the community to be vigilant as it relates to their seniors.
As for Carey's case, Burrows says the department is assisting the police's investigation as much as it can when requested. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now we will have an update on Ingrid Carey later in tonight's newscast. In other news, a video going viral this weekend depicting an unwanted encounter one woman recently faced. Tonight, the man is reportedly behind bars as police officers offer advice to members of the public who may find themselves in similar situations. Here again is Cleopatra Murphy with the details.
I want you eating me?
Let the police don't reach on.
What you do with me?
It's a scary ordeal for a lone woman to be in, propositioned by a vagrant outside your home, spewing vulgarities, but one a Bahamian resident found herself in this weekend. Her response, arming herself and calling police. STEP's Chief Superintendent Darrell Dwyer is applauding.
If an incident like this was to arise, try get a description of the person. Like in this instance, the lady, she did most everything the right way. She called the police. Remember, try not to engage in too much dialogue with them. Get a good description, what they wear and how they dress, and call 911 quick as possible. And again, make sure your home are secure.
The man, 31-year-old Amado Jones, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of indecent exposure and trespassing Monday. Although Ware did not say how often police respond to similar incidents, he advises against taking matters into your own hands.
That's what we are here for. We have beef up our patrol throughout the Grand Bahama District, and I mean the police response would be quick as possible. We take all incidents the same, and like in this incident we responded quickly, was able to apprehend the suspect.
Women can also be vulnerable when walking on the streets, and for that, the Chief Superintendent has this advice.
Try walk in groups. Don't try walk isolated, especially in dark areas. And if you've confronted, I say don't be no hero. Try get a good description and do your best to defend yourself until help arrives.
With the Christmas season approaching, Ware is urging the public to be extra vigilant and cautious of your surroundings at all times, adding that the police will do their part to keep the public safe. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks, Cleo. In other news from the courts, Member of Parliament Kirk Cornish was back in court today. His attorneys Ty Pinder Mackey and Lanique Murphy Grant were requesting that the fifth count against him be dismissed. They told Justice Renee Mackey that the complainant in the case claimed that the threats were made when she and Cornish were in a vehicle. The threats were said to have been made on April 4th, 2023. Cornish's attorneys state that the time frame in which the two were said to have been in a vehicle was in January and not in April, and therefore the charge should be dismissed. Prosecuting attorney Timothy Bailey noting that the Criminal Procedure Code allows for an amendment and that is all that is needed. Justice Mackey makes her decision on Tuesday. Meanwhile, officers of the Northeastern Police Station on Grand Bahama are also searching for 39-year-old Darren Kevin O'Brien in connection with stealing. O'Brien stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, medium build, weighs 170 pounds, wears a low haircut. He is of brown complexion with dark brown eyes. His last known address is number 55 Beachway Drive, Freeport. If you spot him, please approach with extreme caution. He is considered armed and dangerous. Dial police emergency at 911. The National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 or 9. Family Islanders can call 242-300-8476. Well, in other news from police, officers attached to the Northeastern Police Station here on Grand Bahama are busy searching for Rayvon Akeem Adderley in connection with shop breaking. Adderley, 21, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, slim built, weighs 147 pounds, dark brown eyes, brown complexion, and dark brown hair. His last known address is number 61 Faith Avenue, Freeport. Police advising members of the public to approach with extreme caution and care as he is considered to be armed and dangerous. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Adderley, please contact Police Emergency at 911, National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 352-1919 or 350-3106 or 9, 242-300-8476, 350-31 3014 or 6, that is, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, or the Police Command Center at 442-2872 or 442-2870.
And still to come.
The last surviving veteran of World War II laid to rest this past Saturday. That story and more in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition returns.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I mean, I can need a little help with this month, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Don't miss Park & Shop's fall sale on October 28th and 29th. Enjoy a third off store-wide, excluding red tags and underwear. Visit from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. For more information, call 352-7025. Third Dimension Construction will be closed from Wednesday, October 23rd to Friday, October 25th. Stay tuned in for more information on reopening and exciting updates. Third Dimension thanks you for your support, understanding, and patience. Don't Don't miss Paint Fair's Color and Design Trends 2025 Pro Show presented by PPG for architects, draftsmen, interior designers, contractors, painters, and property professionals. Tuesday, October 29th at 6 p.m. It's free and offers continuing education credit. Reserve your space by calling 352-9788 or visiting paintfair.net.
Here at Seaport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It's been a story that has left residents outraged. Just 5 days ago, our ZNS News team broke the news of a senior citizen granting power of attorney to her caretaker. Following strong public backlash and family intervention, Ingrid Carey is now back with her loved ones. Tonight, the family's spokesperson says there is still much to uncover with this story. However, Carey remains upbeat since returning home. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest joins us live with the latest. Jolanda?
That's right, Raven. An intense conflict between Ingrid Carey's family and Murray Knowles, the owner of Home Away from Home, has captured headlines across the Bahamas. It's been 3 days since she reunited with her daughter, Philly, and family after her sister discovered that she had the power of attorney since 2011. According to the family's spokesperson, Dr. Sandy Bolag, since Carey's release, her condition has improved significantly.
Say that she's doing much better. She's looking even better, more well kept since she's been released from the hospital. I must say, after carefully looking at the deterioration of the body, it's clear she's lost a lot of weight. Literally, you can see her bones, and we were really concerned about that.
She furthers that Carey herself was simply excited to return home, asking why wasn't she removed from Home Away from Home much sooner.
She's not in a position for public interview, because that's going to cause her to retreat and go back into that shell. But I will say this. It clearly indicates that there's been a lot of brainwashing.
Dr. Bolang admits that since Carey's return home and the family has had an opportunity to speak with her one-on-one, there are now even more questions than answers.
Are coming into play, that was... Listen, I want to say some things, but like I have stated, I'm going to send them directly to Mr. Watson, and then he can collaborate with his team, which are you guys, and I will follow his lead.
And the question is, did Carey, who has been regarded as suffering from dementia, even realize that the power of attorney was signed over to Murray Knowles from Home Away from Home?
That there's been a lot of brainwashing. So just take that and you let that land where you need to let it land. Because we're trying to put some things in place whereby we can hear for ourselves, record it.
As for now, Dr. Boleg explains that Mrs. Carey has been placed in the hands of new caregivers who are on staff taking care of her needs.
Residents in my care, any kind of care, they have the best care. They have qualified, registered individuals in the field, and by no means necessary are they limited in any way when it comes to their health care.
However, she is appealing to the public to assist with a number of medical supplies and or donations.
Bed liners, sanitary wipes, all those things that comes with, home care services. Disinfectant, hygienic stuff.
The owner of Home Away from Home, Murray Knowles, has been given 7 days to move all of her belongings out of Carrie's home. And Dr. Bolag says she will be reaching out for an update. On Friday, November 1st, Carrie is expected to move back into her home and will be receiving hair and makeup treatments for this special day. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you for that, Yolanda. Certainly good news there. Meantime, Urban Renewal hosting the first Health and Wellness Fair with supporting efforts alongside Grand Bahama Health Services and the Public Hospitals Authority. Deputy Director of Urban Renewal, Senator Kirkland Russell, shares the multitude of services like the blood donation, eye exams, and regular consultation made available at no cost. It's an effort to ensure health is a main priority for everyone.
We intend to continue doing it. The beauty of what we are doing here today is that this is not a one-shot deal where we have this fair and then we leave the residents. We intend to continue working with community nurses, working with our healthcare partners to ensure that no one on this island, especially those underprivileged, those living in urban, densely populated urban areas who sometimes miss the boat when it comes to healthcare. Our job is to ensure that we identify those individuals, get those individuals' names into the principal nursing officer to ensure that they are able to register those people into their data and give those persons the regular healthcare services through the community nursing services that they deserve.
Turks and Caicos Islands Minister of Health and Human Services, the Honorable Sean David Malcolm, expressing the inspiring impact he feels from the event after witnessing the impressive execution.
I am very impressed with the job that the Urban Renewal Program is doing here for the people in Grand Bahama. I think this is a great initiative that the government is doing. Taking care of your people health need is paramount. It's the health of the nation is actually the wealth of the nation. If you don't have health, you don't have wealth, you don't have no life. So it is a privilege to be here to share with the people here. And of course, there's a lot of people here that are Turks and Caicos descent, and we are one.
Well, after a 5-year hiatus and multiple location changes, Paint Fair is bringing back their signature 2-night special color shows on their new grounds with invitations to the public. President of Paint Fair, Leslie Davies Baptista, says the event, spreading over 2 nights, is to specially cater to the different attendees with alternate perspectives in the world of decor.
So the PPG Global Color Team that just launched the Color of the Year at Disney World and a great event is coming here to give us 2 great shows. The first one is for professionals on Tuesday, October 29th at 6 p.m. And that's for architects, interior designers, contractors, painters, property managers, so that they can get a good look at all of the current design and color trends so that they can be ahead of the game for their clients and their projects that they're working on. And then the second night is for everyone who loves color, DIY enthusiasts, homeowners, just ahead of the holiday season. We're going to have that Wednesday, October 30th. Again, it'll be 6 p.m. right here at our new location on Bellevue Lane. So we're very excited to bring these shows back just in time for the holidays.
Toastmasters recently celebrating 100 years of existence as a non-profit organization with a motorcade on Grand Bahama. There are currently 36 active clubs in the Bahamas, 3 of which are located in Grand Bahama. Angelique Clinton, Area Director of Toastmasters Area, sharing the importance of its 100-year milestone.
Toastmasters started way back in 1924 and started in Santa Ana, California. And today, to be able to celebrate 100 years, it was something that was worth celebrating. It was no easy feat to get from 1924 to 2024. So we decided to go grand. We decided to do something big and celebrate and bring the awareness of Toastmasters to the community by hosting this motorcade.
Freeport Eagles Club 1425 was chartered on August 1st, 1972 and remains active for more than 50 years. According to Glinton, the Toastmasters organization has grown in numbers over the years.
If you are looking for a greater self-confidence, if you are looking to polish yourself, if you are looking for a better version of yourself, then Toastmasters is the place to be. Toastmasters assist you in becoming a better communicator, a greater self-confidence is gained. We have clubs here where you can practice your communication and leadership skills through speeches, presentations.
Back to look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Jay, when I waited on you 5 o'clock this morning at the gym, you were no-show, Raven.
I was at my home gym.
Come on. Coming up in sports, the Grandmama Sailing Club recently returned from Exuma at the Opti Nationals.
Thanks, Jay. Well, sports is coming your way next, but first, here's a look at the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
The Forever Flower Shop. Check out our new selection of artificial flowers and wreaths. Choose stems for your own projects or get a pre-made arrangement as a quick fix to a dull space. If you're a soon-to-be bride, inquire about bulk ordering for floral options that won't break the bank. It's all here at Island Bedding and Furniture, located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Peruvian Veterinary.
When you order a large Pizza Hut specialty pizza, you unlock a delicious deal. For a limited time, you can add a small one-topping pizza for just $2 more. Hawaiian, Supreme, barbecue chicken, meat lovers, and more flavors. And for just $2, you can double the deliciousness. But hurry, this mouth-watering twice-as-nice deal won't last forever. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 today.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Cornet Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Cornet Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
Psst. Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Coq de termites vermicalis, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out a scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. First in the sports, the Grand Bahama Sailing Club recently competed at the Opti Nationals in Exuma. Chase Thompson finished 14th overall, while Darren Cooper Jr. finished 18th out of 28 junior sailors in the championship fleet. Caden Thompson also finished 6th in one of his races.
We brought 6 kids down there. We had 3 kids in Green Fleet, 3 kids in the Gold Fleet. There were about 50 kids in total racing down there. And we had some pretty good results.
I feel like I did good, although I felt I could have done better. I could have took more time to practice and actually read the winds properly. But overall, it was a great experience being there, and I'm happy for my coach and my team that we did well. In one of the races, I actually capsized. I got my boat back over. I got back in the race, and I still came like 10th. My experience was great. However, I felt like overall, after I didn't lose my glasses, I just wanted to quit, but then I just couldn't do that, and I feel like I could do better, but it's what I wanted, and it was great overall.
Next in sports, the Agape Christian School tip-off basketball tournament wrapped up on the weekend over in Abaco. C.I. Gibson Rattlers defeated Agape 40-37 to win the junior boys title. Keyshawn Dean was named MVP after leading the team with 16 points in the title game. Now in the senior boys championship game, Coach Kevin Johnson and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers won against C.C. Sweeting in a close one, 70-69, to claim the title. MVP honors went to Tishan Butler with 28 points to lead the team. And finally, in sports, championship action of the Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association will continue this Saturday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. Be blessed.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
This is where it happens. Those moments that impact our lives. Giving you the information that you need this hurricane season. Wherever there is news, we're there.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And with that, we wrap up the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. A live look at the Bahamas Tonight is on your screen. They're coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, no rest for crime scene investigators who today responded to a triple shooting in Fox Hill. The victims all now counted among this year's homicide stats. Also, we're learning a bit more about that fiery, fatal plane crash in Ragged Island this past weekend. Hear what the National Security Minister has to say, who's involved with the investigation and why. And the jobless rate falls for the first 2 quarters of 2024. Coming up, how the stats stacked up. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Masked men, high-powered weapons, a getaway car. In the end, the top brass of the police force racing to the scene of a multiple shooting here in the capital that didn't end well, and the police commissioners making an airy premonition that if nothing's done, others will follow. Police telling reporters on the scene that they were alerted to the incident shortly before 4 this afternoon at a roadside garage on Step Street, Fox Hill, with 3 lifeless bodies. The only information police are working with at this point is that 3 masked men exited a vehicle and fired shots. Police intel suggesting that an individual who was being electronically monitored for murder was the intended target. Now, while he was able to escape, according to Commissioner Clayton Fernandez, he has since been taken into custody to assist with these investigations into what has upped the homicide count to the triple digit of 102. Now, you can tune in for further details on this incident in our 11 p.m. newscast. Also tonight, investigators are trying to piece together the circumstances surrounding that early morning crash of a plane near Ragged Island. 2 people killed in that air disaster, and tonight officials are sharing what they know thus far. Corporal Pfeiffer reports.
Investigations continue into Sunday's fiery plane crash over Ragged Island, which left 2 people dead. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe Monday provided more insight on where the investigation appears to be leaning.
The passengers aren't immediately identified, which would kind of indicate that there may have been no flight plan. The briefing I received indicated that the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Drug Enforcement Administration officers were on the ground, and I would think that that may be some idea of what is being looked into.
Reports are the plane went down near the Duncantown airport around 5 Sunday morning. The aircraft was extensively damaged and caught afire. Eventually, the charred remains of the 2 people on board were found. It has not been determined who the people were, whether they were Bahamians, or where they were headed. Aviation Director Dr. Kenneth Roma praised the efforts of local aviation investigators and said the matter is being thoroughly investigated.
Our Civil Aviation Authority has done a phenomenal job when it comes to providing oversight, safety oversight, regulatory compliance. Where there are issues involving safety or security, they try to be proactive in addressing it.
In early September, a Piper Aztec aircraft with 6 people on board had to be ditched in waters west of New Providence because of low visibility due to poor weather conditions. 2 people died in that incident. Roma, who spoke to reporters on the sidelines of an opening of Aviation Week event at Baha Mar this morning, assures air safety is paramount.
We certainly would have done our due diligence from the air accident, also from our air traffic control. Our persons always traverse our airspace 24 hours a day. We have very busy airspace throughout the entire archipelago, but I really cannot speak specifically to what happened again with the incident in Ragged Island.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pfeiffer.
Well, a senior officer's future on the force hangs in the balance following today's court appearance. Superintendent Kyle Capron was there on a rape charge that allegedly happened October 23rd. Capron was not required to enter a plea and said he was remanded to prison. It's expected that he will return to court on March 2025. Well, also from the court tonight, Ty Pindermacki and Lanique Murphy-Grant, attorneys for sitting MP Kirk Cornish today requesting that the fifth count against their client be dismissed. The two telling Justice Renee McKay that the complainant in the case claimed threats were made when she and Cornish were in a vehicle on April 4th, 2023. Cornish's attorneys argue that the time frame in which the two were said to have been in a vehicle was in January and not April, and therefore the charge should be dismissed. Prosecuting attorney Timothy Bailey noting, however, that the Criminal Procedure Code allows for an amendment, and that is all that is needed. Justice McKay makes her decision on Tuesday. Meantime, Lindsay Shiver went from Alabama, USA to behind bars today after the courts made a decision to revoke her bail and that of her co-accused. Felicity Darville has the details.
The new provisions in the Bail Act 2024 were debated today as Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson must decide whether Lindsay Shiver and her co-accused Terrence Bethel will remain behind bars as their attorneys seek to file for them in the Court of Appeal. Justice Grant Thompson made a decision to revoke her bail, as well as that of her co-accused Terrence Bethel, on Friday, October 26. She suspended that decision as attorneys Damian Gomez and Ian Cargill filed a notice of intent to appeal that decision in the higher courts. Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Cordell Frazier applied to revoke their bail for non-compliance of bail conditions. Shiver was supposed to be at her parents' house in Alabama, but reports are that she was at another boyfriend's house, Dorsey Ryan Love, who allegedly assaulted her. Well, Bethel, who was reportedly also her lover, was to be signing in at a police station in New Providence, but he was back in Abaco, where the initial police investigation began. DPP Fraser said that in the Bail Amendment Bill 2024, Section 8A of the Principal Act states that pending the hearing of an appeal, a person shall remain in custody, meaning, she said, that there should be no question. Attorneys Gomez and Cargill urged Justice Grant Thompson to protect their clients' rights, noting Article 19 of the Constitution, which provides protection from arbitrary arrest and detention. They want the judge to stay her decision while they plan to file a motion in the Court of Appeal. Now, her decision may provide some clarity to the Bail Amendment Act, which both the prosecution and the defense leaned on in their arguments today. Well, finally, in the end, Justice Grant Thompson decided to remand both Shiver and Bethel into police custody until their case is heard in the Court of Appeal. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Well, thanks, Felicity. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report begins after this.
Some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meal with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
With BGC's crystal clear mobile service, stay connected seamlessly, whether on land or at sea. Our reliable postpaid plans keep your loved ones closer, no matter where life takes you.
edition of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot of Sandy Port along West Bay Street. Welcome back. No better news for the country's economy. Figures for this year's first 2 quarters point to more people working, leading to what officials are touting as the lowest unemployment rate in more than 15 years. Danielle Dean reports.
The country's jobless rate is down, with local statisticians revealing figures to prove as much during the first and second quarters of this year. Between January and March, 585 were working, a decrease of less than 1% compared to fourth quarter 2023. Addressing the press this morning, Assistant Director at the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, Cipriana Winters.
The number of persons in the labor force during the second quarter of 2024 was 233,575. The participation rate was 73.4%, a decline of 0.4 percentage points. The participation rate for males, 77.4%, a decline of 0.8 percentage points, while the rates for females, 69.8%, remained unchanged. The occupational group of professional science and engineering professionals had the highest number of persons working in the area for which they were trained.
And based on what statisticians have found, here's the reason why more men than women may have been employed.
It could be a number of things, as Ms. Winters would have indicated, that it's easier for males to find employment, or they're willing to take employment in areas that they're not trained for, or, not qualified for, versus females who are less inclined to do that.
Officials are hoping to release 2024's overall labor figure later this year or early next year. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, Labor and Public Service Minister, the Honorable Pierre Glover-Rowe, touting the labor sector's positive gains as a testament to the country's economic prospects and potential for labor market growth. In fact, she foresees even more good news in the coming months, and this with the help of major job initiatives like Labor on the Blocks and Labor on the Campus. Moving forward, the ministry plans to spur economic expansion through enhanced labor market productivity brought on by a slate of reforms. Those are reforms to help leverage global challenges and opportunities like climate change and digitalization. At the same time, law and policies will be strengthened to protect workers' rights, increase compensation, and introduce new training opportunities, all to improve employability. Well, Chairman of the National Insurance Board, Philip McKenzie, today unveiling a new digital system aimed at ensuring employers pay contributions, as well as creating ease of access for employees to access information. This comes as McKenzie revealed NIB is facing an increase in claims during the slow season in the hospitality sector.
So we have a C10 mobile app that allows people to make their contribution online. We're encouraging more online payment and filing of their C10s. And the online systems allow employees to check the status of their contribution, and that's another way of putting pressure on employers to be compliant.
Speaking of NIB, its former exec Pandora Butler is concerned about the perception that NIB benefits can be assigned to anyone or any institution. And this based on last week's developments out of Grand Bahama. As we've reported, senior citizen Ingrid Carey allegedly gifted her private care owner, Mervy Knowles, her 3-bedroom home without the knowledge of her immediate family. Butler, who will appear on ZNS TV show The Rundown with Clint Watson at 8 p.m., explains her concern about assigning Mrs. Carey pension.
I started watching from day one from that demonstration, and during the demonstration, people were talking about how NIB's benefits for the lady in question had been signed over to the home. And I was concerned about that because it sounded, people got the impression that there was some free-for-all at NIB and they were just signing over people's benefits. And I wanted to make sure people understand that there's a process to go through that. But then, what was worse was when the lady in question, not the inmate or the resident, when she mentioned the amount that the woman was getting from NIB. I know that the prescriptions of NIB does not lend itself to benefits. You understand? So I wanted people to understand that NIB just can't willy-nilly take and sign over your benefit to anybody.
Butler says the NIB Act safeguards benefits.
It actually says national insurance benefits shall be non-transferable and non-assignable. Nobody can take your benefit from you. Your entitlement is your entitlement, so that's a safeguard there. Now, we have to continue to play heads up, continue to pay attention to see what's happening as far as your benefits go. Your benefit is yours by right, assistance not so much.
Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator the Honorable Randy Rowe, detailing a troubling increase in complaints received this year. Topping the list, issues associated with food stores. The Commission's been actively engaging various stores to understand their operations and address consumer concerns.
Took to the streets of New Providence, and we visited a total of about 14 stores, major, some big ones, some small ones, to get an idea of some of the complaints that we would have received from persons who would have shopped and noticed some stale dated items in some of the areas of the stores.
Senator Roll adding that beyond grocery stores, they noticed that some over-the-counter medications in drugstores were outdated, posing serious health risk. The Commission urges consumers to remain vigilant and informed about their rights.
We have certain measures that we can take for them. And even if it doesn't fall under the CPC, certainly there's the Bahamas Business Bureau, there is the Health and Safety Regulations Act. And so all these stated in the Act of what are the penalties when you're not following the law as is stated in the Act.
Stay with us. The National Report returns after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services. So I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. And the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
People are going crazy for Popeyes around the world. Some have camped out for hours just to try our delicious chicken. This guy stocked up on 300 crunchy, juicy chicken sandwiches, just in case. And these lovebirds celebrated their wedding with the Popeyes cake. For real. We get it, y'all chicken lovers. Because we're just as crazy to marinate our chicken for 12 hours and make every piece by hand. That crazy love, we love.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Our rich and vibrant cultural heritage, coupled with the infrastructural upgrades, necessary improvements to delivery of government service, and relatively safe communities, make our family island ideal places to live, visit, and invest. Because together, we will achieve more. And together, we are stronger.
Register today at tclevents.com.
A significant moment for Bahamian heritage. The remains of at least 3 Lucayans taken from a cave on San Salvador returned to the Bahamas after being held at Michigan State University for nearly a century. The repatriation symbolizing a step towards preserving Bahamian history and respect for one of its original inhabitants.
It represents the return of a real important symbol of a civilization that we sometimes overlook, the Lucayans who occupied the Bahamas more than 500 years ago. And this is a way in which we can begin to connect the dots as far as our national heritage.
This repatriation acts as the first time human remains have successfully been returned to the country. It was made possible through the combined efforts of Bahamian and university officials.
You know, I think it's really important to return artifacts and ancestral remains to their home country. One, because that's that country's cultural heritage, and that's where it belongs. It belongs to the people of those countries. And also because we don't have any need for it.
Well, at this point, we're going to check in with Dawn and Desmond, who are going to give us a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now.
Well, Chris, you know it's a sad day in the country as we recorded 102 murders over there in Step Street. I know my co-host, Desmond, just recently back from Step Street where the recent murder took place. I know you're about to interview the representatives on shock treatment this evening.
Yes, terrifying ordeal, and we're trying our best to just stomp out criminality. It has to happen.
All right, Makushla.
Well, thanks, guys. Looking forward to hearing more about that in Access Now. Stay with us.
Hey, are you looking to save for a big purchase or occasion? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond, and I am guaranteed to earn interest on your money with terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Government savings bonds are safe, and for as little as $100, you can start to save for your future. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond, and I'm available to any Bahamian, guaranteed. Go to the Central Bank website and search savings bonds for more details.
From paradise to paradise, Bahamas Air invites you to embark on a seamless island journey from the sun-kissed coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, to the rhythmic shores of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Soar high above a turquoise tapestry on the most trusted airline in the Caribbean. Our inaugural flight takes wing on November 17th, 2024. Don't delay. Book your idyllic escape today. Life's twists, turns, and defining moments. RBC is meant for all
of you. Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs.
Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Healthy eating doesn't have to mean dull eating. Our Danielle Dean highlights a tasty yet healthy alternative to those seeking to improve eating habits while still indulging in delectable treats.
We went behind the scenes at NRG Cable Beach to get a closer look at some of the ingredients a healthy eating lifestyle might consist of.
So I know that you guys have a smoothie called the Blueberry More. Can you tell me what goes into that? I see that you poured a base of apple juice in there already.
Yes, Mom. Now I'm pouring the ginger. Also we use inside the Blueberry More.
What's that word?
Ginger.
Ginger and...
Yes, Mom. Then we also add strawberry, pumpkin seeds, blueberry, and chia seeds.
According to health statistics, ginger helps to facilitate digestion and reduce nausea. Strawberries are low in sugar, yet still tasty. Pumpkin seeds stabilize blood sugar and lower cholesterol. Blueberries promote brain health, and chia seeds aid in weight management. With smoothies, in just one go, you can receive a multitude of benefits with minimal preparation effort. An alternative, a green smoothie. Two typical green smoothie ingredients include kale and spinach, which team up to maintain healthy vision, support bone health, and strengthen the immune system. The best part about it all is that once all the ingredients are secured, smoothies are easy and even fun to make. So the next time you want something sweet, make a smoothie.
With Health Matters for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Oh, Danielle, really good story, and those smoothies really look good. That does it for the National Report, though, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
The Ministry of Tourism, in partnership with the Tourism Development Corporation, is proud to announce the Street Musician Program, a dynamic new initiative aimed at bringing the lively rhythms of Bahamian music to the heart of downtown Nassau. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, shared how the program will enhance the experience for tourists while showcasing the talents of our local musicians.
We're really excited about the Street Musician Program. It's designed to be a very authentic engagement of various musicians to really perform in the downtown area to entertain our guests or residents who are shopping. They would be at our incubation center just east of East Street. Really, it's an opportunity not just for music but also for culture. So we are inviting musicians, whether it's a one-man band or a two-man band or a small band, to really engage sort of as we bring downtown Nassau to life. This is going to be an exciting initiative put on by the Ministry of Tourism and the TDC.
Applications for the program will be accepted from now through November 8th. All interested musicians must be Bahamian citizens aged 18 and older and are required to submit a 90-second video performance. Apply today at bahamas.com/pilotstreetmusician. For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
News from China's state-run international network as our Lloyd Allen sees it. Details straight ahead.
Plus, Miss Teen Bahamas Universe is off to South Africa to compete. All the best to our queen.
Well, Halloween is coming. I'm excited. Partyland. But that's where we will go to find out what's happening.
And coming up in sports, National Sports Month has been launched.
Access Now starts now.
We're glad that you can join us. Good evening. I'm Desmond Saunders, filling in for Marcellus Hall.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Start of another week. I know you're excited, right?
Yes, I'm definitely excited, Desmond. Let's make it a productive one, shall we?
Yes, definitely. And let's dive straight into the news for you this evening. Over the past few months, ZNS senior reporter Lloyd Allen has reported a number of highlights from China, providing a glimpse on business, cultural, social, economic developments in that country. Tonight, he continues with a special look at China's state-run international media company and how it seeks to remain relevant for global audiences.
China Global Television Network was launched in 2016, replacing the state-run CCTV News, broadcasting in 6 major languages, including English, Spanish, French, Arabic, Russian, and Mandarin. Its diverse digital platforms also produces news and documentaries on Sino-global issues in Turkish, Malay, Hausa, Tajik, Uzbek, and Kyrgyz, which make up some of the other integrated languages. With its headquarters nestled in Beijing's business district, editors conduct daily meetings across continents with a focus on highlighting major transnational developments.
We also have 3 production centers in Nairobi, Washington, and London.
According to Senior Manager for Strategic Partnership and Marketing, Chen Wudong, an ever-evolving landscape of social media options versus traditional broadcasting gives CGTN a run for its money.
We practice mobile-first strategy, which means if there's breaking news, we send it directly to our digital team.
Journalists, a part of China's International Press Communication Center's Immersion Group, were part of the guest platform in one of CGTN's recent productions, a think tank discussion assessing the Global South's role as a major contributor to globalization and enhancement across its diverse region. The idea, cementing peace, development, and security for third world nations. Reporting from Guanghua Road, Beijing, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. Well, the journey continues for Cameronique Evans, Miss Teen Bahamas Universe, as she heads off to South Africa tomorrow to compete in Miss Teen Universe 2024. Destiny Reed caught up with her and has the details in this report.
Cameronique Evans began her quest for the crown in January 2024 and succeeded by claiming the title of Miss Teen Universe Bahamas in April of this year. Now, she starts her journey to obtain a universal crown, preparing to compete in the 2024 Miss Teen Universe pageant.
My preparations for the international pageant has been very hectic as so much effort has been put into my success for South Africa.
Evans says that she might be traveling over 100 miles away, but she's carrying the Bahamas with her.
My standout assets would be the traditional pieces that I'll be bringing to South Africa and showing them a part of our culture and how unique it is.
With the Bahamian pieces she's carrying and her unwavering determination, Evans says she's ready to bring home the crown.
When you see my evening gown, what will stand out most is how shiny it is, and it represents how I will bring back the gold to the world's greatest treasure, my Bahama land. I would like for the Bahamian people to know, as I represent them, that I will put my best foot forward and make my country proud.
Evans is hoping for your support as she goes to South Africa to compete. You can help by voting on all social media platforms to ensure that she's #1. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Destiny Reed.
Well, recently, Partyland transformed into a Halloween wonderland, hosting a vibrant fun fair that delighted children and families alike with an array of costumes, festive activities, and surprises for kids. Manager Mitzi Butler shares more on Partyland Halloween Fun Day as it's the peak of the scary, spooktacular season.
Here we have at the back, you can see we have our photos set up if you want to come in and take pictures with your kids while your kids have on their costumes. You can come on down and do so. We're giving out candies, we had games, we have face painting going on.
Well, Halloween Fun Fair was a resounding success, leaving many kids eager for the next Halloween celebration. Well, still to come, it ain't real, or it ain't real, it's real. Our Dr. Collis Reed joins us live in studio to talk more about the popular shock treatment. Stay close for that.
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin and education officials recently visited Great Harbor Key Berry Islands to meet with parents. While there, Minister Hannah Martin toured the Oren Gomez Comprehensive School.
We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing with these young people. Thank you, and helping them develop themselves and come of their own. Particularly at this critical stage in grade 3, grade 4, grade 6, going into high school next year. This is part of our overall effort to reach every school in the nation throughout the archipelago. And this is a reminder as we move through that our country has resources and our human resource all over the nation, and that they each bring their own individual promise and hope. And so we are happy to be here today to encourage these young people and to interact with them and meet with them and get a keener understanding of the current dynamics of what's happening in our public school sector.
Director Dominique McCartney-Russell described the visit as a really good experience.
Having spoken to the children, I'm excited about what the staff is doing here. You know, the articulation, the communication, and just the students and their overall morale. The staff seems to be a very good staff. They've done a whole lot to ensure that the students at this school get quality opportunities.
Principal Sharon North said she is grateful for the minister's visit.
It gives us an opportunity to connect with her and to show her what we're all about. She has an overall view of the campus and some of the things that we're doing, some of our successes, and an idea of our needs. So when we voice those on paper, now she can connect because she's already been here and she sees exactly what we're talking about. So we welcome these visits.
Jonalie McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group along with Alpha Sounds present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Racers Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. Rescue me, rescue me.
Breathtaking images there. Looking at a live shot of Western New Providence and the area of Bahama Resort. Our trusty drone pilot, Destiny Reed, out there flying, doing a great job, Destiny. Let's turn things over to LaDon to see what's happening in the Family Hours.
Family Island News is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Tragedy struck around 5 a.m. on Sunday morning when a small plane crashed near Ragged Island Airport. The plane attempting to land became engulfed in flames and eventually crashed just east of the Duncantown Airport. The charred remains of 2 human bodies have been found. A multi-agency investigation is presently ongoing to investigate this incident. We now turn things over to our Desmond Saunders and shock treatment. Desmond?
Well, LaDon, as you know, the issues of crime continues to impact us. And as you said earlier, it ain't real till it's real. And I refer to our popular television show, Shock Treatment. Executive producer, Dr. Collis Reed joins us. Also, Lieutenant Commander, Mr. Duncombe is here on our broadcast this evening. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this experience tonight.
Glad to be here.
Let's get with you, Mr. Reed, and let's talk about shock treatment. Let's talk about the inspiration behind that show.
The inspiration behind shock treatment really came from Dr. Bernard Nordich. Folks don't know that, but they think that it was something that I started. It's really a vision that Dr. Bernard Nordich had from way back then. And when people see shock treatment, they don't see the program. They see the show. It's a big difference between the program and the show. The show was designed really because we got thousands of young people that are wayward, thousands and thousands, that we would never be able to get into the program. So we decided to capture moments of it so that parents could use it as a tool to deter their young people to get back on track.
Walk us through the segments of the show. How does it all come together?
Well, every segment, every cohort, we call it, we try to bring something different. Why? Because people get to see some of the stuff on television, and we don't want them to know what to expect. So it's always an element of surprise. But the idea is to be able to shock them into reality by exposing them to what their destiny would be if they don't change the way that they go. And somebody once said, if you don't change the direction that you're going in, you will end up where you're headed.
Let's talk about the impact, the positive impact this show has had and is having on the lives of many young men in our community.
You know, when we started, we agreed that we wasn't going to reach everybody. And sadly, we haven't reached everybody. But I believe that we had some real good success. We have basically 2 persons that are on the Royal Bahamas Defense Force now. We have 2 that's on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, with 1 getting set to pass out on the 14th of next month. We have a young man that's now a supervisor in one of the leading banks in the Bahamas, just got married this week. And we could go on and on with successes. But I believe that our challenge was to find some diamonds inside the garbage can. Because all of these young people that come to us are persons what their parents are telling us they had enough with. That if you don't do something with them, then we just can go to the court and render them uncontrollable. So 1 life saved, we believe that is sufficient. Why? Because it costs us what, $20,000 plus a year to house every inmate that's down at the B-Docks. So we could turn a couple of these lives around and save the Bahamian public a lot of money.
I want to get you in, Lieutenant Commander Duncan, because you've been intimately involved with young people, young men.
Yes.
In particular, talk about your experience with shock treatment and the work that you're doing on the ground.
Well, I would say it is indeed a pleasure to work with the program itself. I represent the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, of course. The program basically introduces a multi-agency approach, because we also have B-Docks, we have the Defense Force, we have the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And, you know, it's exciting, but it's also, as the show says, it ain't real till it's real. And so nothing we do is without purpose. I would like to say that. We basically engage and mentor those young boys. And I always tell people, you know, you can ask any of those persons that would have come through the program, even now, if they would have felt that that program did not impact them positively. All right, and as Mr. Reid said, there's a show component and there's a program component. The program component basically comprises of a number of areas, modules that the Defense Force would teach. That is anger management, conflict resolution, spirituality, all of these things. And so, you know, we've had successes, and you know, I'm just happy to work with the program and work with young men to bring about change
stuff
in our communities.
Excellent, excellent work. Before we go, what's the prescription for crime? We're at 102. The homicide count is now 102.
Well, we have to look at it from a different approach that we've been looking at it. It has to be dealt with prevention, intervention, and quarantine. We have to prevent our young people, particularly in the primary school, from getting into this culture. And those that are just borderline, we have to find ways to intervene. And the persons that have made up their minds that this is the way that they're going to have to do, to live, then we got to quarantine them from the rest of society. And I believe that if we go down that road, I believe that we could see some positive results.
Thank you very much, Dr. Collins.
But it has to be a collective responsibility. We can't continue as parents to believe that somebody is responsible for rearing up your children. We have to bring the village concept back to our communities.
This is an issue we're going to be talking more about later on. But gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Bahamas Tonight. Access Now, Dr. Collins Reed, one of the creators for shock treatment, and Lieutenant Duncombe, glad that you can join us. We're back after this. Stay close.
It's a Monday and plans announced for National Sports Month. It begins the 1st of November. That coming up in sports.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Don't get tricked this Halloween. Treat yourself to the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.15. Nesca yellow grits, 1 pound, $1.39. Kraft mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $6.99. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.19 per pound. Wrap up October with the scary good prices at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk a catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in your car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
The educational experience should produce young people who are literate, numerate, self-confident, grounded. They should be critical thinkers, creative, innovative, and able to think out of the box. But our young people do not exist in a box. They are not shaped by a universal cookie cutter. There is no prototype. They are each unique. And the educational experience must be sufficiently crafted so that each child is able to reach his or her own potential. It's personal. And able to pursue their talents and passions, whatever they shall be. In the Ministry of Education, we have said, every child counts. This is the prevailing credo that must guide policy and action. This includes our children with special needs, who should each be able to reach their full potential as human beings and thrive in an educational system that is inclusive and appropriately resourced.
Because we believe every child counts. The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training is working hard to ensure that we find every school-aged child in the country, whatever their talents and abilities, and make sure they are in school. Even as we work to surmount the challenges posed by poverty, natural disasters, and a global health pandemic, we are working every day to stabilize the physical plant, empower and support our committed and resilient educators, and create an environment where our students are equipped to overcome all odds and leave the school environment strong, confident, capable, and qualified. Why? Because every child counts.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports on this marvelous Monday. Well, plans announced for National Sports Month. It will get underway November 1st. Bringing in a new era of sports excellence, that's the theme. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, making the announcement.
This theme so perfectly encapsulates not only our commitment to progress, but also our deep pride and remarkable achievement that have come to define Bahamian sports on the world stage. Today, we reflect on the extraordinary accomplishments of our athletes. Individuals who have risen to prominence through our hard work, dedication, and relentless pursuit of excellence.
National Sports Month is more than a showcase of athletic talent. It's celebrating off-teams work, character building, and resilience. As for the month-long activities, here's Kelsey Johnson-Sills, Acting Director of Sports.
On November 9th, the Sports Awards ceremony will be held at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium at 6:30 p.m. We have the Junior High School Student Athlete of the Year, that's male and female. Senior High School Athlete of the Year, male and female. Family Island School Student Athlete of the Year, male and female. Collegiate Athlete of the Year, male and female. The National Secondary Athletic School of the Year, that's junior and senior. The Community Sports Awards. Family Island Sports Council of the Year, Youth National Team of the Year, National Team of the Year, National Coach of the Year, Federation of the Year, the League of the Year, the Tourism Impact Award, the Olympic Committee Award, the Levan Sands Courage Award, Athletes of the Year with Disability, male and female, National Sportsmanship Award, the Minister of Sports Award for Excellence, and the Prime Minister Award for National Pride.
Now come November 22nd, it's the Hall of Fame induction at Bahama.
The Honorable A.F. Adley, posthumously, Gary Bain, Oswald Brown, Nelson Chipman, Linda Ford, Sir Kendall Isaacs, posthumously, Barbara Knowles, Randy Roll, Rudolph Swaby, posthumously, Stephen Hanna, Nico Grant, Don Knowles, Douglas Dougie Collins, Arthur Reggie Knowles, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis. And for the first time, we'll be honoring a team. They'll be receiving the Golden Glove Award, and that team includes the women's national softball team who made history.
Nice to see those ladies still around from 1981. And that's going to do it for sports at this hour. Coming up at 11, much more on the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janae's.com.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Big 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
The Whopper with cheese never tasted so good. 100% flame grilled beef, now juicier. With fresh ingredients as usual. And even fluffier buns. The Whopper with cheese. Bigger, better, tastier. Get a regular combo for only $9. Only at Burger King Nassau.
What are we gonna do? We forgot your daddy's birthday. He's in Eleuthera and we're all the way in Nassau. You got it? Okay. Yes, you're right. Eleuthera for tomorrow? No problem. At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
I've been a J.S. Johnson customer for over 15 years. This was the first and only insurance company I've ever been with since I was a teen. And the reason I stayed is because they treat everyone like family, like literally. They greet you from the door, walk you inside. You can have a nice little conversation. They treat you like family. I love it. I would definitely recommend J.S. Johnson to anybody. J.S. Johnson, that's where it's at.
It's time now for your Access Weather Forecast and our live weather radar showing dry conditions across the islands at the moment, but that all will change as we anticipate a low to mid-level trough to move across the area, and that will trigger some showers over the next couple of days. And in the tropics, we've been talking about this area for the last several days now, and it looks as though we could have some tropical cyclone development taking place in the Caribbean Sea by the end of the month, the early part of next week, and our computer models are all suggesting that it's going to move north and could impact our weather within the next week or so. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwestern parts of our country, tonight through Wednesday, easterly winds 15 to 25 knots, rough seas 5 to 8 feet over the ocean, so advisory is in place for boaters in the northwest Bahamas right into Wednesday. Now your low tide, that will occur at 21 minutes past midnight. You can expect your high tide at 6:32 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands through Wednesday, easterly winds as well, but very strong, 20 to 30 knots. They will be gusting up to 40 knots at a time with rough seas 8 to 12 feet. So we're asking small craft in the central and southeastern islands to just simply stay in port. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. So join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Desmond and Ladon.
Oh, thanks, Basil. Well, little cloudy activity ahead, right?
Looks like that, Desmond. But at least we have Let's Talk Social to look forward to, right?
Oh, yeah. Enjoy that segment.
Here's Destiny Reed, who is filling in for Matea Cunningham.
Hey, social media lights. I know it looks a bit different today, but I'm Destiny Reed, and I'm filling in for Matea Cunningham. Welcome to Let's Talk Socials. Today, we're spotlighting Bahamian teachers. Teaching today may look a bit different for when you or I were in school, and that's because this new generation of teachers are using new methods of grasping children's attention. Let's take a look.
Oh, that's
Bad man a party and we a bill a vibe. Me go for stir and everything I fry. All who can do it then still a try. I'm stay up down there.
Now, some Bahamians have been in a brawl because they believe that children are no longer taking school seriously, but going to school to recreate TikToks. So we turn to you, the Bahamian Republic, to ask you, what do you think? Is social media usage between teachers and students detrimental to learning, or is it beneficial? I'm Destiny Reed, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
Wow, such an amazing segment. I enjoyed it. Good stuff there, Destiny.
Well,
that's it for us.
That's it for us, Desmond. Stay tuned, though. The Rundown with Clint Watson is up next.
Good.
Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We've heard you. We know you're tired of the reruns. We're coming back, bigger and better, on The Legal Brief. I'm your host, Ramona Farquharson. Stay tuned.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is going to be great. This is your day of victory. Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout. Sundays on the ZNS television network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. It's great to have all of you with us for another week. Well, a matter involving, and we know her name very well, Murphy Knowles and the Carey family of Grand Bahama, still the talk around the country tonight. It's still being talked everywhere you go. At last report, Ingrid Carey and her family are in a safe corner of the island, patiently awaiting their next move. And of course, that's expected to happen anytime soon. As a police investigation is underway, we're tonight taking a closer look at care for the elderly. Now, October is being celebrated as Older Persons Month, and of course, according to the 2022 census, 6,077 residents are 65 years and older. Now, the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is taking the lead in government to ensure our senior citizens are well taken care of, right? That's important. But what happens when one of them have been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's disease? Now, according to a U.S.-based report at Mayo Clinic, Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia. Did you hear that? It's the most common cause of dementia, right? Or Alzheimer's disease. And now, important for you to know about this is that the fact is this association is also soliciting the government to swiftly implement a national dementia plan, stressing the importance of safeguarding vulnerable seniors and exploitation among them, particularly those with dementia. Now,
Then there's a former National Insurance Board executive who tonight joins us to express her concern about the perceptions that many people have when it comes to the National Insurance Board and benefits. And we're going to talk about that because that's an important part of this equation, right? Because people are wondering when they heard about how the checks were being distributed and how checks were being collected by a home and used. Is that even possible? Is that even a part of the Act, National Insurance Board Act? Well, we'll find out. We're going to talk to someone who we call the walking act herself. She knows the act inside out. She's retired, but she can tell you whether what we've been hearing is actually true. And then, of course, right after the break, we're going to get an update on how Ingrid Carey is doing now that she's back in the care of her family. So it's an exciting show ahead tonight. We're going to get lots of information, lots of clarification, and like we say, we deal with nothing but the facts here on The Rundown. And it all begins right after the break.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
From the sugar to the jam to the pigeon peas and coconut milk. I love JBI products. My favorite product is the ginger tea. My favorite item would be the peas and coconut milk. For the day, I'm trying out their white cane sugar. I want to say I've been buying this now for 5 years. It gives me a good kick in the morning.
Whenever my mommy cooks, she must and will put the JBI corn inside my tuna and rice.
Anytime I make my sky juice, I always use JBI condensed milk. It's really good. All of the products are exceptional.
Try JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI. Happy 30th year anniversary, JBI. Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Welcome back. Well, last week I sat down with the players involved in the matter involving Home Away from Home proprietor Murphy Knowles and members of Ingrid Carey's family. Just a quick recap, Northern Service News team, as you know, broke that story that Carey allegedly gifted her home to Knowles without the knowledge of her immediate family. Dr. Sandy Boleg came into the picture on Friday. She joined us live tonight from Grand Bahama with this update. Good evening, Dr. Boleg. It's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to have me on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's get right into what we're going to talk about. First of all, what is happening now? How is Ingrid Carey doing? She's now with the family. Tell us how that's going.
She's doing, you would not believe that it is the same person on Friday to compare to the last 48 hours. She's very talkative, very lively, energetic. It's literally unbelievable. Her even tone, complexion, her skin she is as beautiful as she used to be. So she's doing very well, and it's clear that she is very comfortable in the setting, which is among her family, that's bringing out a whole lot of things
I was about to ask you, is she aware of what has transpired and what has been going on regarding her over the past few days? Is she even aware of what's happening, that she's no longer in this home? What is her view on this, and is she even aware of it?
Certain things that she is alluding to clearly indicates that she is a little understanding of the matter because of certain comments that she makes. And I mean, it's like, really? Are you serious? Why did you take so long to come and get me? Or some of the comments. You left me in this place. And some other things that I would rather not say on television live. And I sent you some information. It's just unbelievable. So she may not be 100%, but she's quite cognizant of a different environment, a different setting with family members, and she's more in a relaxed mode.
How is she responding to care as far as eating, as far as the eating habits, as far as her regular routine habits? Is she conversational? Has the family even tried to talk to her about what has transpired to get her viewpoint on it? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, first and foremost, she is actually saying she wants a favorite meal. She wants her barbecue chicken and she wants pizza. If not, she's going to starve. She said, in other words, I'm going to go on a starvation. So they actually called me today and said, listen, Doc, she wants chicken, she wants pizza. So that clearly indicates that with her being able to have that level of appetite for her favorite food, that she obviously is more in a comfortable setting and a more comfortable zone. Now, our caregiving is, phenomenal. It's tremendous. We have that round the clock. I have them calling me and say, who's going to take the next shift? Because I'm sleepy. She kept me up all night talking because she's actually sharing highlights of what we don't know what occurred on the inside. And it's just amazing to see that, okay, she's coming to her normal self because she is spewing out certain information, as I am saying, and I have made you privy to.
I know we don't want to discuss at this point some of the things she said, but based on what she said, has it raised your eyebrows based on some of the things that she's commented on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I was to categorize it from a psychological standpoint, I would literally categorize it as brainwashing.
Wow. Wow. So what is the next move now for her? I know that you're staying in a temporary location. What is the next move? Their home is going to be vacated in a week. Tell us what's the next move.
Well, if you go back to Friday of last week, we are now in the fourth day of the seventh week, the seventh day of the week. And so in another 3 days, it was on my agenda today to make that call to get an update on how far you are in your packaging and preparing for your to vacate the premises. And I'm going to do that first thing in the morning because it's expedient that we get her back in her environment. And I'm sure once that is done, we will even get more insight of what occurred during her stay at the institution.
And of course, what is the plan? I know because the kind of care you provide is to have health providers actually in the patient's home. Is that what's going to be happening? Who's going to be living with her? How is that going to be worked out?
Yes, we actually have, like I stated earlier, around-the-clock care currently. So when she gets into the home, we're actually going to employ a live-in, not just caregiver, but a live-in registered nurse, a retired, actually registered nurse that we anticipate living in the home with her because if there's any medical challenges for whatever reason, there would be a qualified RN on staff to handle that. And this is why we need to appeal to the corporate Bahamas for donations and sponsorship with regards to this.
Of course, definitely. I know another thing that was of concern is, of course, perhaps providing, finding something for Philippa so that she could relocate back to Grand Bahama and find work. That appeal is still going out for job opportunities for her so that she can move back home. Is that still what the family is hoping to be able to do?
Yes, I did hear a little birdie in the air say that, and I think if that is correct, because I have not been able to reach out yet to the Minister of Grand Bahama, but I was informed in the air that the Ministry of Grand Bahama is looking into measures of assisting. So that's allegedly, because I have not called the minister yet.
I kind of heard the same thing, so I think we're hearing correct then, because I kind of heard the same thing. So I think the Ministry of Grand Bahama is looking to provide some level of assistance with that regard as well.
We always say, there's a saying, the sickest don't go the quickest. Mm-hmm. Philippa has gone through a tremendous stress and turmoil. However, we literally want her to have a break. So we said tonight, you're just going to take a break. You're going to have some care and me time. You don't have to worry about your mom. We've got her covered. So we gave her actually the night off. So she's very happy about that.
That's good. I'm looking forward to some me time too. I need the night off as well. So the deadline here obviously is 7 good days. She got 7 good days. She's down now to 4 being left, 3-4 being left before the home is
correct.
Before the home is vacated.
We're actually going to have the beautician and the makeup artist come in on Friday and literally doll Mrs. Carey up. So when we take her back to her home, she can kind of feel like her old self. So we're going to have that done on Friday. And I mean, everybody's excited to see the transformation. Having her hair cut, nice makeup done as we know her to be.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a great time. Hopefully our cameras will be there to capture the look on her face when she returns home as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Bullock, for talking with us.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
All the best to you. All right.
Thank you.
And when we come back tonight, we're talking to representatives from the association that deals with persons who may be challenged with Alzheimer's, dementia, to find out what are the signs. You need to know this. Right? Because we don't want to become a reactive, I should say, society. We want to be proactive so that you can, if you have elderly ones, what do you need to be watching for? Especially people who may want to prey on them or take advantage of them. We want to talk about that, and then you cannot go. National insurance, what should have been the right procedure? What is the right procedure? What does the law say? We're going to get into that discussion. You're watching The Rundown. Where else you got to go? Right here. We're back after the break. Stick with us.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is parking? You ain't even know where to park. Again, that's some parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't getting nowhere to go. Don't park. Just don't park.
Don't park over here in this handicap.
No, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog?
I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro.
I tell you we shouldn't park here.
Don't get one of these things.
My bar big broke, and he got a sticker inside to say this mother. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot.
That's what we gotta move.
But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Welcome back to the Rundown. Of course, we want to say special good night to all of you who are in the Lion's Den. I see you in the Lion's Den. I see you. I do. And those of you watching by YouTube as well on any of the social media platform, welcome to the show. Good to have all of you with us. Well, founded in 2020, the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association works to raise awareness and improve the quality of care for those affected by Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. The association issued a press release this past Friday calling on the government to urgently address the lack of regulation in elder homes following the situation in Grand Bahama. Here with us tonight is President Dr. Wendy Poitier. And of course, I got to get to the next name because it's not in the teleprompter. Ladies, welcome. Tell us your name.
Anilla Clark.
Anilla Clark, thank you. Wendy's coming on in the next segment. You tell us your name as well.
I'm Deidre Clark Maycock.
Deidre Clark Maycock. Thank you, ladies, for joining us in the Rundown. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Let's talk to us first about this, because I think sometimes out of these challenges that we face, I always see the positive silver lining is always we get more highlighting information on diseases and matters that people should pay a little more attention to. And for some reason to me, and maybe it's just perception, but it seems that a lot of our elderly, especially Bahamians, are being plagued with Alzheimer's or dementia more than, the other stuff that we've seen before. It just seems to be a growing trend now that a lot of our senior citizens are experiencing this. So first of all, tell us what it is, because I'm trying to figure out, is there something that's causing more and more Bahamians when they get older to have Alzheimer's or dementia? What's causing it?
Well, the president will give you more information on the causes and everything, but as far as I'm aware, you spoke about there's been an increase in the knowledge of persons with dementia. I think dementia's been around for a very, very long time, but we didn't think of it as dementia. We used to say, oh, this person is just doting, or this person...
Yeah, that's the term you say a lot, just she doting.
Right, she doting.
Yeah.
So, but the numbers indeed have increased substantially, and it is projected to even double within the next 10 to 20 years.
Why?
Eating habits, lifestyle, sometimes it's hereditary, and health is a holistic thing.
Eating habits and lifestyles can contribute?
Everything. It can. And so you have, and even trauma in people's lives can also cause persons to experience dementia. So it's a gamut of reasons which will cause a person to suffer from dementia. And I'm a caregiver. I would think my mother doesn't have a history of dementia in her family, but yet she has dementia. So I'm assuming it's lifestyle patterns and or maybe some trauma she experienced early in her life. These things is a combination of things. At least that's what was told by our physician, that it was perhaps trauma that she experienced earlier in life. But we have decided that even though the numbers have increased, because the numbers have increased, and I will say to you, it is not just older persons who are suffering from dementia.
Really?
You have younger persons being diagnosed with dementia. You have persons in their 40s and 50s who are now being diagnosed with dementia. And and the reason why it's coming earlier, I can't say, and that's why we need the dementia plan in place, so we can do research and figure out what is causing the increase. What is causing the age to be lower than it has been in the past? So we need the dementia plan. Well, first and foremost, the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association we signed on in 2017 to put in place. The Bahamas signed on in 2017 to put in place a dementia plan.
What is a dementia plan?
Dementia plan is a written plan that is prepared to assist the government and non-governmental agencies to ensure the protection of persons who are suffering from dementia, them and their caregivers.
So it leads obviously to an act in Parliament that will provide protection.
Right, protection in and not just protection, and also making sure that they're diagnosed at an early age. I mean, diagnosis and so forth of dementia detected earlier, but protection to ensure that they have proper caring. They have their finances and their, like right now, the same issue that you were talking about. It's so sad that well, everything that the lady who the doctor spoke about, these are things that we want a person with dementia to have throughout their life. Once they've been diagnosed with dementia, we want them to be able to have their living in a comfortable environment, living with their family, not having to move from out their houses. But because of the way the world is, people have to work. So they may have to put their parents or their loved ones in a home. And even if they don't put them in if they put them in a home, we need to make sure that the home is regulated. There are policies in place.
I just want to say, because you can put somebody in a home, but if people there don't know how to care for somebody with dementia, it's another problem.
So if policies are not in place to ensure that the home is ran properly, and the person who is, and the homes are not just for persons with dementia, but so you make sure that the homes are run properly, that the caregivers are knowledgeable about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, the extent they're supposed to go to. Now, I just want to say too that a lot of times we put in place plans and it's not carried out because people aren't aware. So one of the purposes of the dementia plan too is to bring awareness, so that people know. Some people may think that, oh yeah, I could. If this person tell me I could have their property, there's nothing wrong with it because they're not aware that they're doing something wrong.
Correct.
So the dementia plan would make sure that you know you're not supposed to do this, you know you're supposed to be doing that, you know you're supposed to be doing... So we're putting in place policies to ensure that everybody acts in accordance with, in the best interest of their carers, as well as the caregiver stays out of problems by following the protecting themselves, actually, by doing what they should do and not what they should.
But of course there has to be a diagnosis, right?
Of course.
I know in the case of this story, the caregiver was saying there was never a diagnosis. She took it to clinics and doctors, nobody ever diagnosis. But the family obviously seems to feel they know a lot more because of her history, that there is something that's clearly wrong. I think does the plan speak to a process as from the diagnosis to what should happen?
Right, it absolutely does. And the National Dementia Plan is we have a subcommittee of the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, so we're actually not reacting to the incident that occurred in Grand Bahama. We've been proactively putting together these drafts that we want to have a conversation with our government. So when we say we're calling for the government to implement the plan, we're actually saying, hey, government, call us because we're calling on you. We're saying to the government, help us to help you because we're the caregivers who've walked through this experience. So one of the action points of our dementia plan has to do with exactly what you said, the diagnosis. And we talk about treatment because if you can get a diagnosis early, then you have the opportunity to delay some cognitive decline. So you can have more of Grammy with you for a longer period if you go ahead and not ignore those warning signs. So our president will talk more about some warning signs.
Because I want to find out what are those signs and how do you know when one is deteriorating and so forth.
Right.
This plan obviously should be something that any progressive nation should have. Absolutely. How close are we to getting this to Parliament?
Well, we have, like Nella said, we have a subcommittee that is working furiously. We've just come out of a month of celebration of World Alzheimer's Awareness Month. So we're now focusing on putting the plan. It is estimated that we will give a first draft to the government in the new year. Now, and that first draft is just us coming together and putting our views, our beliefs, being caregivers as well, on paper.
Will there be a consultation period?
Yes. There will be a consultation period, hopefully, because, well, not hopefully, we're going to submit our draft to the government, and that draft will have to go through its process, and hopefully that process is consultation with stakeholders such as the doctors, caregivers, associations, even caregivers themselves, because we don't know all the answers. Educators, every segment that is affected out there, we want to hear what they say, whether we have everything in this plan. Because at the end of the day, this plan is supposed to support and protect every one of us, all of our loved ones who have been diagnosed. And I must say too, Clint, we're sitting here talking. Next 10 years or even less, we may be suffering from dementia. You understand me? So we need to safeguard our interests as well.
So, I guess I'm going to ask you, President Bobby, answer that. Because what is dementia? For just not forgetting, just for not remembering, not being able to put thoughts together, or is it a lot more than that?
It is a lot more than that. It is a lot more than that. Persons misunderstand or mistake dementia as a mental disability.
Right.
It is not a mental disability, because you could take medicine, and if you have a psychological mental disability, you could take medicine and correct your illness, or assist in controlling your mental disability. But with Alzheimer's, there's no return. I mean, it's like once you have Alzheimer's, the only thing the doctors so far, and that's why research is so important, the only thing that the doctors can do is give you medicine to slow down the process. But it's eventual that it will take over at some point in time. There's no cure for dementia. And that's sad. And because there's no cure for dementia, we are trying to make sure that individuals live a comfortable life during that time that they are having been diagnosed with dementia.
Wow.
And
All right.
Can I just
sure,
say,
please.
Can I just say to that, the reason why we're asking the government of the Bahamas, what's your plan? We also want to say that to you, Clint, what's your plan? And to all of your viewers, we have to have individual plans while we have our cognitive faculties to consider, what do I want? Can I say that now while I have my soundness of mind to my loved ones, so they know this lady or this man who's saying, Auntie Grammy wanted so-and-so, we know that's not what she said when she had her soundness of mind. So we encourage you to develop an individual plan for what if, because it's not inevitable. We recognize that Alzheimer's and dementia, it's not a normal part of aging, but what if? Like you said, their numbers are going higher and higher, perhaps because we're not ignoring it as much. But dementia is like the 6th leading cause of death in the world. Wow. So we're not alone. And the Bahamas has a lot of risk factors for dementia. We're number 4 in obesity in the world. That's one of our risk factors. High blood pressure, diabetes. These are things that go into your plan for how do I do my best to protect my health, the health of your brain, because dementia truly is brain failure. It's you're living, but your brain is dying. So while we're talking about people having plans, even wills for when they die, we also need to have a plan for while we're alive, but perhaps our brain is failing, our brain is dying. So that's very important. What's your plan is the question that we want to pose to everyone who's watching and the government of the Bahamas. Let's create a plan so that we protect everyone who can be us in 5, 10, 15 years.
Wow. Thank you, ladies. When we come up, we're going to talk to your president, find out what are the signs, what are the warning signs, the risk factors. You need to know it. And then a little later, national insurance. What are your rights? What should you not be doing? Leave people checks alone, man. We're back after this. Stay with us.
But I don't go in water, just grab me up.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell Marshall, 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access, now at 7:30. Then, at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown, with Clint Watson, and 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS, and it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We've come to appreciate the JBI product. Simply doesn't matter where they're staged or where they're located. We always realize that JBI has the best pricing and the best quality of food. In particular, my favorite is corned beef. I was a hometown boy. So if I can purchase anything, it can be this JBI corned beef straight through.
As you get a bit older, you become more discriminating and what you put in your bodies. And all of this is natural stuff. So I am happy to promote the Junkanoo Punch.
I actually compared it to a couple of brands, and this is the one of choice. This one, this the Can't Fail brand. So,
Fried JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary to JBI. Thank you, Bahamas.
We're back now with Bahamas Alzheimer's Association President Wendy Poitier-Aubrey. We're talking about the risk factors, and we're talking also about the warning signs of dementia. And thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, let's talk about the risk factors. What are the risk factors for dementia?
Well, there are quite a number of risk factors. Some of them are associated with your daily lifestyle, things that you do, like physical inactivity. Ms. Clark talked about it before, your obesity, hypertension, diabetes, those types of things. And those are things that you personally have to do. But we also have some things like environmental factors, things that the individual themselves may not have control over. And so again, as we talked about before, that is why it is important for governments, for public policy to be in place to deal with things like education, because they found that persons with a lesser education, they have a higher risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's. Air pollution. It's important to ensure that we have, it's important to ensure that you have, where they find persons who are exposed to air pollution, those things that are in the air, they too have a higher risk factor. And so these are things that governments can do. You don't have the control over those things, but the government, that is why it's important for government to ensure that they have in place plans to ensure that these things are not happening to their people. Individuals themselves, again, we talk about making a plan for you. You can make sure that, you watch your weight. You watch the food that you're eating. You make sure you have physical activity, because we find that persons who are stagnant, physical activity and mental activity, you keep your...
Interesting to see infrequent social contact.
Exactly. So persons, just sitting home, they're not getting involved with other people, they're not... that's why it's important to get involved with your church, get involved with activities, social clubs, to help stimulate, because it's all a part of brains. And if you're stimulating your brain, making sure that your brain is keeping active, even doing things like they talk about crossword puzzles, doing Sudoku, those type of things, just to make sure, reading, learning a different language, believe it or not.
Really?
If you learn a new language, that too helps to build your brain activity.
Anything that stimulates the brain.
Everything. Thank you. So,
depression.
Again, for persons who might be, again, not moving, not becoming involved. When we talk about the movement, you're being reclusive. Stepping back and not being fully present in what is happening. Those types of things as well are some of the risk factors associated. Smoking, alcohol, drug use, those types of things are some of the risk factors associated with the development.
Now let's talk about the warning signs that somebody is experiencing dementia. What are those signs?
And remember, we said it's not necessarily age, because some people think, oh well, they're just getting old. That mean that it's not.
You forget that is old age.
No, and it's not necessarily. But if persons have, say, a change in their mood or behavior, they never used to be so reclusive, or they were usually outgoing, that might be an indication. Hey, let's check for that. When you see people who they used to run a business and they were able to move and make sure things were happening, now they can't even balance their checkbook.
Wow.
Those are the type of things. So you see now disorientation with time and place. What is happening here? What's going on?
Right.
Those are some of the things you might want to say, hey, let me check. And people say, memory loss, they doubting. It's not just say, I forget where I put my keys. It's the fact that you don't even know you had keys.
Okay, that makes it a little bit better, because sometimes I don't remember stuff.
Yeah, I put that keys.
And I get upset at myself because I don't remember something. I'm like, hold on now, this is a sign of something. But it's just I don't remember something. And I'm saying, I should know this, but I don't remember it.
Exactly.
But that's different from not even recognizing that you even knew it existed.
So there is the difference between, when we talk about memory loss, it's not just, because you had keys.
Right,
but I just, I put that.
Where I put it, right.
But for persons who, when we talk about memory loss, they don't even know that they would have had keys, those types of things. We also had, I'm going to tell you about my personal story with my father-in-law. He was driving, and he had parked on the side of the road, and some record drivers, this was right where A.F. Adley is, and there's the record drivers across the way, and he said, I saw this man sitting in the car, and it's about 3 or 4 hours. He was sitting there, and he went over to find out what would happen. And he said, I'm trying to get to my son's house. What had happened, they had just changed the road. On Blue Hill Road, they changed, and they put in the roundabout. And so he did not recognize, he did not remember, or even know that, hey, this is where you should go. So those types of things, you have to be careful and watch out for when persons have the keys, or when they're driving. They might be driving down the wrong side of the road, because when they were growing up, or when they knew themselves, this is the way the direction was.
The gap takes place.
Exactly. It's something that it's no longer there, or they would have the memories of what happened long ago. Because that's what we find with persons who have dementia. They can remember old songs, they can remember things from a long time ago, but that short-term memory is no longer there.
Will will sometimes cause mood swings? They get angry, they get upset.
And again, that too can be because they know something is wrong, but they just can't put their hands on it. And when we're talking too about, I just wanted to add one of the things too, one of the groupings that you want to have involved with the National Dementia Plan is some of those persons who are in the early stage. Because if you are in the early stage of dementia, persons can still recognize, they can still contribute, they can still do things. And they know, I know something wrong. But they can also recognize as well, there are certain things that I want to have and that I want to do to make sure. That is why early diagnosis is so important. Because when you get that early diagnosis, you know, okay, that the cognitive decline is coming, because we know there's no cure. There's something to slow it down. But I know I can now put things in place. I can make sure my estate is planned. I can make sure that my family knows what my wishes are. I want to be cared for in this way, and I'm making plans to ensure that these things are put in place.
Is there a stigma attached to it? Are people afraid to say, I have dementia?
That is one of the things where we are trying to bring, the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association is trying to bring awareness to persons to know, hey, families to know, people to know, just because you've been diagnosed with dementia doesn't mean that's the end of the story. You can still make a contribution in the early stages, because we know there's the early stage, middle stage, and then there's the final stage, of course, when persons are not able to do anything for themselves. early stage dementia. They even have, in places like in Europe and England, they have dementia associations, persons who have early stage or diagnosed with early stage dementia, and they are a part of groups and associations, and they are able to function and they're able to make contributions. And so we were trying to see if we can bring that type of attitude here to the Bahamas, where persons who, even though they have dementia, they can still make a contribution. Their families, there's no need to say, oh, they're going to lock them in the back room. We ain't going to bring them out. Bring them out. Have them become involved and let people know that you can still function, you can still do certain things. You'll not be able to do maybe everything that you used to do before, but you can do certain things. So that stigma, definitely, we're trying to make sure we have dementia-friendly societies. And again, that is what the National Dementia Plan will ensure as well.
Bahamas Alzheimer's Association obviously put in place to be able to help people deal with this.
Yes, definitely. To educate, to support families, to support the caregivers as well, to make sure when you go to the hospital, even sometimes the doctors don't know, but educating the doctors as well, how are you going to deal with this person who has dementia? Because you cannot deal with them like how you would deal with somebody who, as Deidre had said before, it's not a mental illness. So you can't deal with them like you would deal with somebody who has a mental illness. There are certain things that you have to be able to be aware of and how to conduct yourself and how to deal with persons with dementia and Alzheimer's.
But Dr. Wendy pointed out, you really shared a whole lot of information for us. I think we all now are more aware of what we need to be doing and now aware of the association. If you need to reach out to the association, please do. How can they reach out to the association?
We do have a telephone number. It's 535-4260. I'm looking at here right now, 535-4260. We have our Facebook page, Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, and also we have Instagram, Bahamas ALZ 242. And you can, and our Gmail, Bahamas, BAHAMAS ALZ 242 at gmail.com. Facebook, Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, and also Instagram, Bahamas Alzheimer's Association.
So reach out to them before you forget.
Yes.
All right? Reach out before you forget.
Yes.
That's important because you can get the help that you need. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having it. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
So much for having us here.
When we come back, National Insurance Board, they issued a statement. We're going to talk about that and really what rights you have and who should have your money and who should be doing what with your money. We're going to have that next with the Walking NIB Act. She's here. We're back after this. Stay close.
Has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey there, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
disabled person, a lot of times we feel like it's just us. And I recognize, even through my bone cancer journey and receiving an amputation, that it was time to join the community around me. So I started to dive into sports, adaptive sports, Paralympic development. So that's how I got into para archery. You know the lens that you have in yourself on your own value. How am I going to be productive? How am I going to leave a mark or do an impact in your community? You're going to have to decide that even in showing up, you're celebrating your wins, but also acknowledging and being accountable for the times that you did not do what you needed to do, but it's never a loss, it's a learn. And so actually helps us to focus on that, focus on ourselves and focus on our actions. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Welcome back to the show. So good to have you with us. I've seen your comments in the rundown, in the lines there, and it's interesting. So the National Insurance Board issued a statement on its website today clarifying provisions and procedures for pension beneficiaries, care, facility transition pretty much. NIB officials maintain that pension payments will continue without interruption, recognizing that transitioning to a care facility can incur new financial demands, and where costs are not directly covered by the pensioner or another party, the pensioner can request their funds be sent directly to the institution to cover their costs. Now, the Social Security Organization encourages pensioners to inform them of their transition to a care facility. With all that said, we're taking a look at pension payments with whom we call the Physical National Insurance Act. She's retired NIB executive Pandora Butler. It's so good to have you joining us on the rundown. You know everything NIB, okay? You know everything NIB. I'm just letting you know right now. So when we had questions about NIB, we could think of who else to call other than you because you know the act. You know what it says. So can other people pick up somebody else's NIB check if they're a caregiver?
Someone or anybody could pick up somebody's check if they're given authority to do so. Either given authority by the person who's the beneficiary, it's their check, or they need to get authority to act. I remember hearing, well, not I remember, there's a lot of talk in that SIGA in Grand Bahama about powers of attorney.
Correct.
At NIB, it's not called the power of attorney, it's called authority to act, and there's a process involved in that. And the law is very clear about all these things. And so I was quite concerned, Clint, when I heard demonstrators talking about national insurance, and even the lady from the facility was talking about national insurance. And I was concerned with what she said. Now, I can't tell you what procedure was followed.
Right.
I can tell you, though, what the law provides.
Tell us.
She talked about, and she admitted it, she talked about the lady's checks, getting the checks from NIB.
$900.
And she said to you, this lady is getting lots of money. She's getting over $900, she said. And that's why I was concerned, because $900 is not an assistance, it's a benefit. Here's why I'm making the distinction. The proviso in Regulation 14 of the Benefits and Assistance Regulations does indeed give NIB the authority to pay some money to the facility, the in-house residential facility. However, the law limits that to assistance. The law actually says, in the proviso in 14, it says old age non-contributory pension, invalidity assistance, and survivor's assistance. And as far as I know, since I retired, there's been no amendment to that part of the law.
Wow.
And so, as far as I know and understand, it's the assistance that can be targeted. And there is a limit on that as well.
Really?
So if you're giving the person's assistance, and you know why that is, because the spirit of that law, the whole assistance, the welfare component of Social Security says we're going to give needy people, needy Bahamians, some money, a little bit of something to tide them over or to keep them, to keep a roof maybe over their head, to give them something to eat. And so then if you are not doing that for yourself and you're living in one of these facilities, then why would you get the assistance? And so it says let's give it to the facility. But here's the rub. The facility mentioned in 14 explicitly says Sandlands Rehabilitation Center or such similar institution. Now my question about that is, what was the spirit? We know what the letter said. What is the spirit of that? Is anybody monitoring that to see if that person is a whole $900 going to someone where you interview somebody from social services and that person actually said to you it costs about $700 if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
You asked them about how much. I don't know if that means they figured out that's how much it costs to house a person in residence or that's what this person is charging. I don't know. And so if this person is charging, why are you still giving them our money, the people's money? So those are some questions I would have. Now, that facility, that provision in 14 does not apply to benefits.
So if you're receiving a benefit check, you can't use that for this.
You can't tell NIB. You, as the provider, cannot go to NIB and say, send the checks to me. Let me tell you why.
Why?
There's a government institution that used to contact us, and I dealt with them. And they wanted to make that happen, a government institution. I said, no, the law doesn't provide for that.
Oh, my God.
It's on you. If you take these people and you don't know how to take care of them, that's on you. Now, let them get their money and then they pay you. You have the authority to do that, but NIB does not have the authority to take your money because guess what the law says? The Act itself says in Section 32 about benefits, Section 36 about assistance, your payments are to be inalienable. What we say, we break that down, non-assignable, non-transferable. So that is, if you have a man, for example, receiving $800 a month, in disablement benefit, and he gets some children he ain't taken care of. The woman can go to the court and tell the court, let's put a lien on his money. Let's garnish his benefit. It can't happen. The law is very clear. It's not there to pay your bills. That's yours. You earn that. Now, if you have authority to act, and again, there's a process to go through that. You can't just automatically go to NIB and say, give me that money because they ain't paying me. That's on you. You took them in.
Jesus mercy.
Now, I can't tell you what happened in the whole saga. I can't tell you. I could just tell you what the law says.
What the law says.
That's what the law says.
That's what's scary because a lot of people work in institutions today that don't understand the law.
I'd like to think they do, and I'd like to think it was done properly. I'd like to think it was misrepresented, what I heard. I'm just hoping what I heard was misrepresented.
I hope so too.
Because, and then she said, you asked the question, so can they get the money back? And she said, well, they could go to NIB and
it doesn't work that way. Yeah, she said they could go there and they could just sign.
How did it happen in the first place? I don't know. I don't know.
Because she's saying that she has an arrangement where she gets it. So now that they taking care of her, they can go there and she say, just sign.
I don't know.
Do you know that to be a process that somebody can just go inside?
If she was given authority to act. That's something that has to happen.
Well, we know that the power of attorney on Friday is in the hands of the sister.
And
the power of attorney that she claimed she had was never registered.
So was due diligence done when we talk about
let me sip on my water.
Authority to act? And did she have that? And I'm just curious. I'd like to think that my former colleagues are doing what they know to do and what is right to do. I'd like to think that.
What is this tonight? Sip on water.
I'd like to think so. And back to the institutions, even if your assistance, again, that's under $300, that's why that $900 had my...
That stuck out to you?
If you're getting an assistance, the institution keeps 90%, and then the 10% goes to the resident.
For assistance?
If it only refers to the assistance. So you keep the 90% to do whatever you have to do in the house because you're taking care of their needs that the country wants to have met already. So you can take this 90%, and the law even goes on to tell you what that care of the person entails. It entails doing some stuff with the facilities, doing this with the facilities, right? But 10% of that, you can give it in cash or in kind to the resident, buy their little chips or whatever it is they want. So it prescribes what happens to that money. It does not become yours.
So what we found out on Friday on the show was that, because that was a concern raised, because the facility charges $700 per,
that's what
per
they
person.
Were saying. Is that what they were saying? They do charge?
They charge $700 per person.
Okay.
So if the facility charging $700 per person, they were taking the benefit checks to cover that.
And giving back the surplus.
Well, I don't know if they were giving it back, but they had it. Well, what you said was so important, because your benefit check can do that.
Your benefit check is
only
yours.
The assistance check can do that.
And listen, there are people who may say to me, they may hear me talking and say, but wait a minute. In the case of funeral benefit, y'all do it. Y'all do give the checks to funeral homes.
Right.
Well, they do. Because y'all know more.
But is that a benefit
anyway,
or an assistance?
No, it's a benefit. However, in signing that over to the funeral home, you at no point give up your entitlement to that. That remains yours. Your signing that simply says to NIB, I give you authority to give this to them on my behalf. And if at any point during the process you change your mind, I'm taking the body back from you, sending it to another funeral home, NIB then has to follow your instructions and send it to that funeral home. I say that because I've had funeral directors, ranting and raving, they go into the press because NIB ain't pay them because the person moved the body and they already do some work. And you know what we had to tell them, that's on you. You have to go to the person with whom you signed the contract. NIB has to do what the person who's entitled to it tells us to do.
It's 9 o'clock, I gotta go. Wow.
I'm cold.
This is another show. We're gonna book up another show.
Yeah.
Because I believe we have to know what these acts say, so that we operate in the law and not outside of the law. We're not saying somebody's doing it, but we're saying that's why it's important to know what the law says.
I'm curious about the introduction to the session. What you said on the website. I'm curious. I'm going to go check on the website and see what that is talking about.
We'll be back. You could be sure about that. That's the rundown. Royston's in the house, getting ready for the 11 o'clock news, so join him at 11. We have the latest from those triple murder at 11. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.